What's up, traders? Matt from the Trade Brigade here doing a technical analysis on ticker symbol VUZI for Vuzix Corp. On the left-hand side, we do have the daily time frame, and on the right-hand side, the 30-minute intraday time frame. The elephant in the room is, of course, the large move higher from today's session, but we have not yet marked this chart up together, so let's start from scratch and give ourselves a bit of a daily roadmap, just pointing out obvious areas of support and resistance. Then we'll talk more nuance as we drill down to, of course, that 30-minute intraday time frame. So this is just quickly what I'm seeing as obvious areas. The other thing I would point out, let's actually go one more major resistance overhead, at least from a horizontal perspective. That's here at 1911. And then what I was getting at was, of course, a resistance trend line. So let's draw it in roughly with the erasable tool first. Obviously, that's no good there. Let's try another one from this peak high in here. And that's kind of appropriate, right? What you'll notice is that the anchor would be here. Touch number one would be here. Never really getting into it in any of this activity down below, but we're certainly breaking it in today's session. So it would at least be worth having on your radar, at least noting that we are breaking this kind of downtrend from that perspective. Even if you were to come into here, I mean, obviously this trend line has been broken as well over the past couple of days. So from a daily perspective, yes, this technically is the start of a new breakout. It could be a larger trend reversal. Now, we're not completely out of the woods. What you would hope to see is some sort of pullback to form a higher low. Then we get a higher high, right? That would really confirm a new daily uptrend. This would be the major low. This would be your higher low. This would be your first higher high, noting that it's higher than this, and then we would get some sort of subsequent higher high. That's simply how we look at these things from a trend perspective. We also have earnings around the corner, so please be aware of that, especially if you're an options trader. Can you even trade this with options? And the answer is yes. Let's see how the volume is on the weeklies here, or monthlies, excuse me. Not that great, okay? So I wouldn't really advise that you do trade it via options on the put or call side. Also noting that this is a hard to borrow stock, so you're not technically going to short it either. Let's go back over to the charts and talk about scenarios from the 30-minute perspective, see if we've missed anything here, and not really. Again, there's no real structural elements. Maybe we could have picked out this here. Let's go ahead and throw that on the daily as well. That's going to be this level right here, also a breakout point. That was the high of day from Friday. So breaking that, this 1155 did put into play the breakout from today. So let's go ahead and take out the Fibonacci's as we typically do, traditionally do, from the low of the move to the high of the first move. What you'll notice is that the 38.2, this first blue line, certainly respected on the pullback, so that is a good sign of strength from the buyers. We'll come in once again from the low all the way on up to the high this time, just to get a sense where this 38.2 is. So all things considered, the 38.2 is just shy of a structural area of resistance at and around 13 bucks. So for me, I would want to know about this level here, 13.17 to be exact, and then the pullback low from in here at $12.38. Let's get rid of the fibs. They've kind of served their purpose. The structure is always going to be more important than the Fibonacci numbers. If they coincide, that's when you read into it as being a stronger coincidence. So some levels and scenarios to pay attention to. I would point out in the post market we're moving higher. We'll address that in a second. But on any pullbacks, right, if we get into 13.17, that's where you're going to first start looking for reversal candles. So you're looking for hammers, indecision dojis, basically things that make you question, right? Is the pullback ending here? Can we flip long and then get into those upper targets? The next area would be at $12.38. And the last one, the really, has to be line in the sand, is here at $11.55 on a more aggressive pullback. Now, do I think we're going here? Not likely, and I'll show you why, right? I briefly mentioned that in the post market, we are continuing this momentum push higher. So as of right now, I would assume that we're opening on a gap up for tomorrow's session. So that could change. However, note that we're opening, or subject to be opening, right around this 1544 area. I would simply watch out for a potential for a gap reversal, basically moving into the high of today. Let's go ahead and throw that level on the chart just so we're aware. That's going to be here at 1437. And if we can fill the gap, right, that's the first area. Start to be on the lookout again for those exact types of candles that would signify some sort of reversal. If we fill the gap and move higher, your obvious target is back here. Pre-market high up at 1591 and 1544. This general area of the chart will serve as that upside target. So that's really going to wrap it up. It's all going to depend on, do we remain on a gap up for tomorrow's session, or do we fall back down into range, in which case you have those levels to be paying attention to. This 1370 mark, not so important, right? If we scrunch up the 30-minute chart, and turn off our extended hour session, you can see there was really no hesitancy at that level. So if you want to keep it on your chart, you can. However, I would say play. It's really all about this 1317 as opposed to cherry picking that level that we just took off at 1373. That's really going to wrap up the video. Again, you have the levels mapped out. You have my thoughts. We are looking for upside continuation as long as volume wants to be on par with what we've seen here. 1.5 million shares per 30-minute bar would serve as a solid threshold. That's going to be it. If you enjoyed the video or learned anything new, let me know in the comments section or by giving the video a thumbs up. Don't forget our main channel is linked in the description, and all of that being said, I wish you a green trading week.